I thought I had not seen Annabelle Comes Home. I thought I'd only seen the first two films. I had absolutely no recollection of this film. And then I realised actually I had seen this before. And it doesn't surprise me that I couldn't really remember it because while it's better than Annabelle Creation, and I'll expand on why I mean that or why I say that in a moment, it's still not good. And the first Annabelle film is so strong. And this is just really, really poor. But again, better than Annabelle Creation. This was released in 2019. Annabelle Comes Home is directed by Gary Dauberman, written by Dauberman, and we have a cast including Vera Farmiga, Patrick Wilson, McKenna Grace. Great cast, of course. I think McKenna Grace is fantastic, and she plays a character called Judy. She is the Warrens' daughter. And the Warrens have Annabelle, the doll, confiscated in their house behind this glass case, in this glass cabinet. And the doll, well, I won't go into too much detail about how it happens, but there is a babysitter, and the babysitter has a friend, and Annabelle ends up being freed, being released, and is able to take possession and conjure other things and cause, in theory, a lot of mayhem and chaos. But honestly, nothing happens. For pretty much the entirety of the film, nothing happens. And that's not really even an exaggeration. It is so slow. And there are scenes where I can see they were trying to make it scary, but it doesn't work. There's no horror. There are a few teeny tiny jump scares. And in general, if a horror film has only jump scares and no other horror element, it's not necessarily my kind of horror film. I need a little bit more than that. But with Annabelle and the Conjuring films, the jump scares are so effective that I really thoroughly enjoy them. And there are just so few of them here, and they're not very well executed either. So with this one, there is basically no horror. I won't say how it ends, but I will say that in the last maybe 10 or 15 minutes, we do get a decent amount of horror. And that's basically where it is. The rest of the film is so dry, so mundane. There's no horror apart from a teeny tiny amount of jump scares that are actually quite weak. So it's not a scary film. It's not particularly a well-written narrative, but the reason I said it's better than Annabelle Creation is because I actually dislike the narrative in Annabelle Creation, or ultimately where that story ends up. I won't spoil it and go into any detail, but that narrative I just don't think was a good idea. I don't think it's believable within the context of the universe as a whole. Whereas this one, yeah, I don't actually mind the narrative. I think it's a good idea. I think the concept works well. It's just not interesting. It's very slow, and it's not scary. The performances are fine. There's not much else I can praise with this one. I guess the few jump scares are moderately okay, but I was really disappointed, and it doesn't surprise me that I just completely erased having seen this from my memory because it's very boring, but it doesn't anger me. Whereas Annabelle Creation really annoys me because I just think it was a really bad idea. I don't think it was the right story to tell, and maybe that's just me, I don't know. I haven't really read anybody else's reviews about it, but with this one, the story's fine. It's boring, but it works well in terms of being believable. The characters' actions are realistic. I don't have any issues with any of that. It's just not a good film. So I was really disappointed by it. And it's quite surprising because the Conjuring films are amazing. I still haven't seen the latest one. It's something I will be watching within the next few days. But the first two Conjuring films, really good. The first Annabelle, really good. The first Nun film, I remember that being brilliant, though my memory is not great, as I've learned. So I'm going to rewatch that, and we'll see if that lives up to what I remember. Looking forward to watching The Nun too. So I do love the Conjuring universe, but the Annabelle films are quite weak, so not great. Annabelle Comes Home isn't a particularly good film. If you don't like really scary films, then maybe it's okay, because as I said, there are a few tiny moments, and towards the end we get I guess, a decent amount of horror. And if they had that same energy more frequently throughout the film, then it would have been a lot more interesting. So it could have worked. It could have been brilliant. But I don't think they quite hit the mark with this one. I've now seen it twice, completely forgotten one of those occasions, and I'd be very surprised if I ever watched it a third time. Annabelle Comes Home could have been great, but apart from some good performances, decent cast, and a tiny, tiny bit of horror. It's just not a good film.